Hey guys, and welcome to my London vlog. Hi, so I've arrived in London. This is Lucia. She's doing an exchange in Leeds. This is Gianluca. We're in London right now. Hopefully this time Lucy makes an appearance in one of my vlogs, which is funny because she's so important to me.
No, I fell on my knee.
Currently going through London, going to meet a friend. I think this is the first time I've ever vlogged in public. I know I've had many failed tries at vlogging, but I'm going to be meeting one of my friends here. We're going to be going to the Wellcome Collection, one of my all-time favorite museums here in London, because it merges social science and museum studies into one. So hopefully that is fun to show you guys. Also because I think they're definitely one of the museums that are like on the cusp of technological and actually humanity related kind of innovation, and that's one of their really important goals, which is why I think it's interesting to show you guys. It's also one of my favorite museums, so I also have a bit of that going, and they'll have a really cool exhibition going on about graphic design. Say hello.
I like on their way for a real.
Okay, so we've actually arrived at the Wellcome Collection now. I can't film in there. I'm with Hannah because she lived with me in Barcelona and my year abroad. And we're here, and I can't really tell you much about the exhibition because I've not seen it yet, but it is really cool, and hopefully I'll have more thoughts about it later. This is the first time I've like seriously vlogged in front of Hannah, so she finds that really funny.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But yeah, it should be good. The Wellcome Collection does a lot of cool stuff. I wanted to see, like, they have free BSL interpreted events, which is really cool because I don't think a lot of museums make themselves very accessible to other minorities, so that's really interesting to see. The reason this is an interesting museum, I think, is because they have like a lot of innovative events. I think she's in the learning area of other kind of things. And what do you think about their appealing to the public via like?
Yeah, I think they do really cool exhibitions. I've been to one on sexology before.
Yeah.
And that was really groundbreaking.
The reason this is like such an attractive museum for me is also because they, obviously I study museum studies, and so obviously that, but then also they like mix a bunch of stuff into it. Like I'm guessing this is about medicine, and it has to do like, you know, with the social sciences, the sciences, the humanities. It's really like an interdisciplinary
also
museum.
Graphic design.
And graphic design. So I think they're really innovating and spreading kind of awareness, and it's also free. So like the ultimate being accessible to the public. Obviously, I can't take footage, so goodbye. Come out. It's been a while. We've done some exploring. I thought it was really cool.
It was so good.
Right. Really good. I think it's about graphic design in the medical industry, kind of. And it was really good. It makes, I was telling Hannah, it tells like the really familiar stuff to us, like marketing and packaging. It makes it really unfamiliar and makes you like really reflect on the role it like plays in your life through just like really innovative display and stuff. And they also have a bunch of stuff like the library, a cafe, a like bookshop, and it's all like cohesive. I think it's spaces like these that make a city, like, you can only really have these spaces in a big city where there's space for them. I think this is one of the few things that
and where you've got the audience as well.
Right, it's just like a large audience for a community that wants to innovate and is curious about finding things out, I think is like what's sometimes missing. Currently my maps just broke, so I feel incredibly stranded right now. When you're in a big city, once your maps quit, for some reason, you literally are stranded. As smart as humans are, we're also incredibly dependent on our phones as like a third limb, basically. So yeah.
I'm gonna see some stuff.
Currently at El Barbican. No, that's not what it's called. It's called
La Barbican.
No, it's called the Barbican. It's also a cultural center, so we're gonna go to an exhibition about Basquiat. Seeing as I completely forgot to say anything about the exhibition, here are some shots of the wonderful brutalist architecture of the Barbican Museum in London. Minimal phone usage on the tube.
Come on, show us. Don't show us how to.
During dinner, I got to talking to some of my friends about London and why they'd chosen it as a city to study in.
I'm Ali. I'm from Spain, but I lived in Brussels all my life. I came to UCL because when I applied 3 years ago, it was the best university for geography that would accept my grades.
And how do you find being a student in London?
I think it's good. It can get solitary and lonely, but I think if you live with the right people and you find a good group of friends, living by yourself does not have to be that bad.
Okay guys, I'm asking Max questions.
Born and raised in England, in Buckinghamshire, and I chose London to study in because I've always wanted to ever since I was a kid. I just love to sit. Everything's exciting.
The music shows, the West End.
Access to musical theatre does help out, I guess. That's always an advantage.
So what do you think would be different if you hadn't chosen England as your university?
Probably the culture and language, you know. I feel like at UCL there's obviously a huge diversity of people, but everyone's sort of unifying themselves towards your style of life, whereas I like my creature comforts at home. So
Of course, being in the UK, we got on to talking about Brexit.
Brexit. I think it's a topic that comes to heart for me because I'm a very pro-European. I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
The United Kingdom has made a big mistake, and sadly it's going to affect all of our lives. Particularly mine, because I decided to come to the UK thinking that I would have the same options as any other European or anyone else from the UK. And now that Brexit is taking place 1 year from now, I'm debating whether to stay here for my masters and to work here and live here. I have a debate about Brexit at least once a day, every day. But yeah, no, it's such a terrible thing that's divided society completely.
I've got an anecdote for you if it interests you.
Yes,
The morning of Brexit, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I saw BBC News and I was so angry. I put my headphones on and I went for a 45-minute walk. Brexit was a bit of a trash move from the UK, and honestly, I think it should be stopped before the damage to the country's national interest goes down shitter even further. I have to swear. So many parliamentarians have, at this point, admitted that it's just going to damage the country economically, socially, and in every way. Yet they're still going ahead with it. And would you be able to do that with any other, segment of government operations? No. Limitations, yes. Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, the big problem is having to queue when I come back through immigration. But obviously, there are bigger problems for much bigger groups of people. That was me in the morning of Brexit.
So after a week-long hiatus, I'm finally back in the Netherlands. I hope you enjoyed my little daily vlog style thing, which I don't think I've done yet. And it was a little bit of a video diary, which, to be honest, has a little bit of narcissistic intent maybe, because I think it'll be fun to look back at that video in a few months and see what I was up to. But anyway, it was nice getting to get outside and see something else, and especially something as big as London, because as quaint and as beautiful as Utrecht can be, there really isn't anything that compares to living and being in a large city. So I think there is kind of this charm of living in a big city, having such a large access to places, it being sort of like a global capital. I do feel like it's one of those cities where, whether you like it or not, you might end up in and around that area at some point in your life. And yeah, there's something about that makes the world so much smaller. I don't think you can say the same thing about cities like Utrecht or other smaller cities. I think one of the really sort of more poignant things that I found was really interesting was the fact that Brexit was everywhere. On the trains, people were talking about it, people were reading about it. It was just, it was interesting. I was maybe more interested in the implications of it, but actually being there and talking to people who are living it and being in an atmosphere where it's kind of omnipotent, omnipresent, so it was really interesting, especially because a lot of people I talked to had very interesting things to say about it. It's such a multi-layered problem and issue, and I am not at all qualified to talk about it, but I still think it was interesting to get people's perspectives on that. And And yeah. So that's it for this video at least. I hope you enjoyed taking a little trip to London with me. And if you have any comments, whether it be about my unoriginal take on Brexit or about anything else that I talked about during this video, please do comment them below. If not, I'll talk to you guys really soon, and until then, bye!